been interrupting my Zooms and like turning them weird and stuff like that. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to start in a chair. Later, I'm going to talk a little bit about tennis balls and little squish balls. If you have them, you don't have to have them. But I'll tell you, we'll talk a little bit about using them. All right, so this morning, I'd like to start with the butterfly breath. One of my favorites. Kind of opens up the neck and it helps the hands too. So I'm going to interlace my hands and I'm going to put them underneath my chin. And then I'm going to inhale up and it kind of supports the neck as you go up. Open those elbows nice and wide, and then I'm going to exhale down. Good. Nice deep breath. Inhale up. And exhale down. And one more time. Inhale up. And exhale down. Now we're going to start with a mudra called Ganesha mudra. I'm going to take my hands, I'm going to take one on top of the other and hook the fingertips and just a little bit of tension to pull them apart a little bit. And Ganesha mudra kind of symbolizes the release of tension and stress. And I think most of us have probably got a little bit of tension and stress going on right now. So just kind of holding on, you can hold it up by your heart or you can even just set it down in your lap. And let's just take a few breaths here. And with each exhalation, just let go of any stress that you have and just kind of make time for yourself right now. Just relaxing. Nice deep breath. And with each exhalation, let go of some other stress or tension you might have. I'm so happy you guys have taken time to do some chair yoga. So important.
Music's too loud.
Too loud?
It's really going over your voice, so can't hear you.
Okay, thank you. Hopefully that'll be fine. All right, so now go ahead and open your eyes. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to come a little bit towards the front of my chair. I'm going to bring my hands down to my thighs and I'm going to kind of lean into those hands, get a little bit of weight bearing. Tuck my chin into my chest. And then I'm going to open up nice and wide and big. Open those fingers up. And then exhale. Inhale all the way up nice and big. Opening that chest, shoulder blades are together. Exhale. Good. Inhale up. And coming back to center, go ahead and take that chin and take it over to that right shoulder. Follow with your eyes. And then inhale back to center. Exhale to the opposite side. And back to center, nice inhale. Now gaze up diagonally. And then gaze down towards your left side. Gaze up diagonally opposite way. And look down towards that right shoulder. Now gaze up to that right side and make a full circle. Your eyes are kind of drawing that circle as your neck and head follows. Now take it back the opposite direction. Good. And back to center. And go ahead and bring it back down. Let's go ahead and take those shoulders, bring them all the way up to your ears. And back down. All the way up to your ears. And back down. Now roll them all the way to the back and down to the front and up. Real exaggerated. Take it to the back. My elbows kind of go back with that. Take it down and to the front. And my sternum will change too. So I go up, my sternum comes out and down. Good. All the way up and back and all the way down. Good. Now go ahead and take that left arm. I'm going to bring it to my thigh. Now I can bring it all the way down here, or I can just bring it here, depending on how flexible you're feeling. I'm going to take that other arm up and over and get that really nice long side stretch. Side angle stretch there. And I want to roll that shoulder back, that right shoulder back as I gaze up. And then I'm going to come back to center. I'm going to change the arm there. Other one's coming up and over. Nice long stretch. Reaching up and over. Good. Beautiful. And coming back to center. Now bringing those feet a little closer together. I'm going to open the arms out into the cactus arms. And I'm going to take the leg out. And I'm going to bring it back together. And I'm going to inhale up. Exhale down, a little crunch. Back to center. Open to the opposite side. Out. Nice and open. Hands are nice and wide, fingers apart. Back to center. Inhale up. And crunch down. Bringing those elbows into the belly. Let's do that one more time in each side. Take it out. Nice and wide. Back to center. Inhale up. Exhale down, crunch. Last one. Open those arms, open that leg. Back to center. Inhale up. Elbows are close together. Exhale down. Good, and coming back to center. Now I'm going to go ahead and hold on to the side of my chair. That sounds a little loud again too.
You don't really need the music.
Let's turn it down. Okay, so now I'm going to hold on to the side of my chair, and I'm just going to lean. And as I lean, I'm going to let the neck kind of hang. So I'll get that whole stretch along that whole side of the body. This is really a great stretch to do if you've been hanging out at the computer for too long. Just let everything kind of hang. And then come to the opposite side, holding on the side of your chair. And lean. Nice stretch. Perfect. And coming back to center. Now I'm going to go ahead and take that right hand across to the opposite knee, and I'm going to extend back. And I'm going to follow my hand back with my eyes. Nice long reach. And I'm going to come cross that hand over and extend back. And coming back to center. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to come a little bit to the edge of my chair. I'm going to take my feet about as wide as my mat, or a little wider than my shoulders. I'm going to take those hands back into that cactus arms, or in this case it's going to be goddess position. And what I like to do is I like to do the seated positions, and then we take them into standing. Now you can have your goddess pose with the hands facing towards me, or you can turn them to face each other. Okay, so there's your basic goddess. I have my feet turned out just a little bit into a little plie. There's a couple of things we could do here. We could get a little twist, so I could just turn to my right, that little twist, and inhale back to center. Turn to my left, exhale, back to center. Take those hands up to the top, palms together. Exhale down. One more time, inhale up. Perfect. And exhale down. Bring those arms down. Roll the shoulders a little bit. It's amazing how heavy our arms can get. Now take those arms and extend them nice and long. Palms are facing down. There we go. And this is when our legs are out and open. is our 5-pointed star. So you have the head, the 2 arms, and the legs, really reaching from fingertip to fingertip. Perfect. Bring the legs back in and turn the palms up, and there's our sun god. Now I'm going to bring those hands down in front, kind of like a little platter here, and I'm going to take them out to the side, and I got the elbows kind of locked in, shoulders back, and then I'm going to flex at the wrist, and I'm going to come up right through horse. We're going to take it up overhead. Okay, so the palms are out. Then turn your palms in, come together, and nice exhale down. Good, so bring that hands out. I like to think of it as a platter, so it's nice and flat. Take it out. You're balancing those drinks, bringing them out on those trays, all the way up. Perfect, turn the fingertips towards each other. So the palms are still up. Exhale down. Good. Now it's next time. I'm going to kind of take the arms out, and I'm going to stop right at about shoulder level into that horse position. I don't know if you guys can see my feet here or not, but I'm going to lift one heel. So I'm up on the toe of that right leg. And then I'm going to bring it back down. And I'm going to lift the other leg. And bring it back down. Now you can alternate one and then the next, or try bringing both heels up off the floor, up on those toes, getting that nice stretch in the toes and in the inner thighs there. Go ahead and bring it down. Take the arms up overhead. Turn them towards each other. And all the way down. Good. Perfect. Roll the shoulders a little bit. Roll that neck a little bit. Good. Go ahead, take those feet and bring them back in. Or work the feet a little bit before we go ahead and stand up. So I'm going to lift that leg up, and I'm going to flex and point, and flex and point. I don't know how many of you guys wear yoga socks where they separate your toes, but it sure makes them feel good. And it kind of helps with foot problems sometimes. It did for me. So go ahead, circle those feet one way, and circle it back the opposite way. I want to keep a lot of flexibility in those feet. Change sides. Let's flex and point. If you can't bring it up this high, you can do it down lower. I'm just getting my feet up here so you can see them. And circle one way. And circle back the opposite way. Good. Excellent. And bring it back down to center. Take those feet a little bit wide. I'm going to kind of take my forearms forward, and I'm going to kind of push those inner thighs out a little bit and get a little stretch. Because we want to be able to do a nice plie when we get into our goddess when we stand up. So now I'm going to take my right shoulder across towards that left knee and get a nice stretch along the side body here. So take it across and bring it back up. Take it across. Good. And back up. And take it across. And back up. Good. And across. Those feet back together. Now let's kind of open the hips, spine, neck, all the way up. I'm going to do a little body roll. Okay, so I'm going to pull my navel in, tuck my chin into my chest. So I'm getting that little cat-cow motion here. And then I'm going to open up. And I'm going to lift my chin, my sternum, my belly. So my pelvis is going to be doing a little rocking back and forth. I like to kind of take the arms with me because that kind of helps to get everything going. So the chin's going up and down, the sternum's opening and closing, the shoulders are rolling forward, rolling back, and your pelvis is rolling also back and forth. Opening up those hips, belly, thighs, everything. Good. Last one. Exhaling as you're coming forward. And inhaling as you open up. Perfect. Give me a nice stretch up with that right arm. Take that left arm to the floor. Nice stretch. Perfect. And let's switch sides and stretch. Good. So now you have the option. You can do these moves with your chair, or you can sit in the chair. So you can do it standing up with the chair, or you can sit in the chair, okay? I'm going to move my chair kind of to the side so you guys can see what I'm doing, but you might want to be behind your chair, okay? So either way is fine. If you need a sip of water, grab some. So we're going to work with our goddess and five-pointed star and horse and all that. So let's start with that plie position. So the feet are about 45 degrees out. I use the width of my mat. It kind of helps me to figure out how wide I want to stand. And when I'm doing a plie, I want to make sure I'm just dropping straight down. Okay? So again, if you want to go through these poses in your chair, you can again. Okay? Otherwise, stand up and so I'm going to go straight down. All right. So now when I do that goddess, I'm going to take my arms up into this cactus position, and if I can, get them nice and parallel to the floor, these big hands, and I'm going to drop down as I exhale into that goddess pose. Okay, I'm going to hold it there for a moment. I want to, almost like I'm up against the wall. Okay, so you don't want to be leaning forward. So take it, and then go ahead, inhale up, and as I inhale up, I'm going to bring the palms of my hands together overhead. Good. I'm going to exhale back down. And you can go just a little ways, or maybe you can drop deeper. So just pay attention to what your body can do. Let's do it one more time. Inhale up. Good. Exhale back down. Now take that right hand. I'm just going to bring it to my thigh. I'm going to take the other hand up and over. Get one of those side stretches here. And again, if you need to come up a little ways, you can. Keep the shoulder rolled back. Rising back up into that goddess. Change hands. If you need a break in between, go ahead and rise up. And knees over to the opposite side. Perfect. And coming back to center. Rise up. Bring those hands back to heart center. All right, so whenever I do any of these things, I kind of like to wiggle a little bit in between. So maybe move the neck and the shoulders, hips, whatever you need to do before we go into the next pose. So we're going to go back into that goddess pose. And so those hands are up. And I like to have mine nice and powerful, but you can have them soft. You know, your hands don't have to be like, So it's just whatever kind of feels good for you. Okay, then my knees are coming right out of my toes, and I'm going to come down. Now I'm going to go ahead and lift one heel. And I'm going to go ahead and take it back down. Shoulders are back. Lift the other heel. Take it back down. Now maybe you're going to rise back up. Or maybe you can hang down here. Now you can do one leg and then the other again. Or maybe you can do one up and have the other one join it. So really working on balance and strengthening those toes. Maybe I have my hands on the chair. Okay? So whatever helps you to do these poses in the best manner you can. Go ahead, extend out into that five-pointed star. Perfect. And bring it back down. Shake it out a little bit. Good. Again, so at any point here, I can do that whole pattern. I can hold on here. I can have one arm out. Okay? When I'm balancing, so please, I even have it on the side here. Please do what helps you do these moves the best and in the best form, okay? All right, bring those arms up once again. Go ahead and lower just a little bit or a lot. All right, and let's grab that twist, okay? So I'm going to twist, looking over the shoulder. And inhaling back to center. And exhaling the opposite way. Good. Back to center. Inhale. inhaling up, bringing the palms of the hands together. And exhale down to heart center. Good. Take those arms down. And let's just squeeze those fists and take it down. Just kind of let those arms relax a little bit. Squeeze as you bring it in. And just getting that nice full extension through your arms. One more time. Squeeze. And reach all the way out through your hands. Good. The sign of a healthy muscle is one that can do its full contraction and extension. So that's what we want. We want to keep all the muscles we have. All right, let's go ahead and extend the arms out back to that 5-pointed star. I'm going to turn the palms up, and there's our sun god. Okay, so we're going yay to the sun. Of course, we probably have a little too much sun right now. I was up early walking this morning, and it's still, even at, I don't know, 5:30, it still was a little bit warm. All right, and then go ahead and bring those hands down, and let's find that platter when we were doing the horse earlier. So I've got that platter, take it out to the side, flex at the wrists, bring it up to that horse, and go ahead and come on down. Find that comfortable position, shoulders are back, chin's kind of in. Good. Come up, palms together. And when you exhale down, see if you can find that perfect position again. Palms are flexed, elbows up, my tailbone's coming straight down. Good. Let's inhale one more time, up. And let's exhale down. Excellent. Now, go ahead and lift the heel just like we did with our woman's warrior, or goddess, and bring it down. Now when we're doing moves like this, I really want only the leg or the heel, just this little area right here is moving. I don't want my whole body to do. We're not a rocking horse, okay? Now, if you can, bring up one and then the other. I could hold on Sharon in front, or maybe I've got that whole balance thing going. Good, and inhale up, and all the way down. So balance is really all about core. Core is balance, balance is core. So they kind of go together. All right, let's just stretch this out a little bit. Let's do a couple of bird dogs here. And I'm going to have you just do it off the side of your chair. And I'm just going to do it sideways so you can see it, but you can have your chair right in front. Okay, so I'm going to have my chair, and I'm going to step back a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and take my right leg, tap it back. And let's just start with a little crossover first. So I'm going to take it behind, knock over my water. Typical. Okay, so I'm going to take it back. I'm going to take it behind. And I'm going to follow with my eyes. And then I'm going to take it to the side and follow with my eyes. Okay, so just swing it back and forth. And you can kind of push into that toe if you want. And over to the side. Behind and to the side. Good. Let's come to the opposite side. So I'm going to take that left leg back, and then I'm going to cross it over, and I'm going to look back at it. So I'm getting that little C curve in my spine. Other side. Follow with your eyes. And right here, I kind of like to push into my toe a little bit. Inside. And push. Good. Coming back to center. Just drop those hips back. Maybe bend one knee and then the next. Okay, so I'm kind of pushing into one hip and then the next hip. Good. So now for our bird dog, I'm going to come down into that nice flat back, or close to a flat back. I'm going to take my leg back. And at any point, I can stop right here, maybe that's enough, or maybe I can lift it up and get that full parallel to the floor position. Now, if you feel stable enough here, go ahead and extend out through that left arm. So from fingertip to toes, I've got this nice long line, really strengthening my back and my core, and working that standing leg, working on balance. Good, and come back to center. Bird dog is one of the best for strengthening back. You can do it on the floor or you can do it with a chair. All right, so let's come to the opposite side. So now I'm taking that left leg back. And each side might be a little different, okay? So pay attention to your body. Okay, lift it up wherever you feel comfortable. And I'm going to go ahead and reach nice and long with those opposite fingertips. Get that nice long reach. Good. And then come back to center. Good. Let's go to a couple of heel raises here just to stretch things out. I'm really big on movement between yoga patterns and moves and stuff so that you feel comfortable all the way up and back. So now we're going to add on to that a little bit and we're going to do a knee to nose. If you're not comfortable doing knee to nose, that's fine. You can just extend the leg out. So I'm going to take that right leg back and I'm going to lift it up and then I'm going to tuck in like a cat-cow, okay? Bringing that knee towards my nose and then I'm going to extend it out nice and long. And I'm going to tuck it in and extend. Now some of you have really good balance and may be able to extend the arm out and tuck that elbow into your knee, okay? If you need to hold on both hands, that's fine. Otherwise, get that little reach and little tuck. Little reach and little tuck. Good. Come back to the other side. Stretch it out just a little bit. All right. Then we're going to come to the opposite side. We're taking that foot back. My left leg's going to tuck in towards my chin or towards my chest. And then I'm going to extend it out nice and long. Okay? I might be able to extend that right arm and then tuck it in. One thing about yoga, as you guys probably all know, yoga is a practice, not a perfect. So we're always working towards those forms that we feel the best at, and we're trying to improve the ones that we were challenged at. Good. And back to center. Perfect. Let's come back to center. All right, so we're going to play around with a little more balance. I've been really enjoying working with balance lately. So let's start first with just weight shifting. Sometimes we end up falling or losing our balance because we don't shift our weight. So my weight is on both feet. It's nice and evenly distributed. So now I'm just going to take a nice inhale and I'm just going to let my body kind of move over to that right side as I exhale. See how you can see my body's all kind of leaning over this side? I'm going to inhale up, weights on both feet, and then I'm going to switch. This is a basic Tai Chi move. I could inhale up and exhale down. Inhale up and exhale down. Good. Now I'm going to do that with the forward and back. So now I'm going to put the foot to the front and I'm going to lean back just a little bit. Okay, so my weight's back. And my chest is back, and then I'm going to bring it center, just a little tap, and then I'm going to take it to the back. So now I'm leaning a little bit forward. Okay, so take it center, take it forward, take it center, take it back, take it center. Good. Now you can stay right there, or you can hold on to a chair if you need to. I'm going to take it forward, and I'm going to lift it just a little bit off of the floor. Now maybe the hands would be helpful to have it by the side. Again, holding onto the chair or whatever you need to do. Shoulders are back. Okay, I'm going to bring it to center. Just a little tap that foot. I'm going to take it to the back, and I'm going to lift. And I kind of like to go into a little airplane there, kind of. Okay, back to center. Let's do that one more time, front and back. So I'm going to take it to the front. I'm gonna lift, shoulders are back, that nice extension. Perfect. Come back to center, take it to the back, and lift. Excellent. Come back to center, march it out a little bit there, move those hips. All right, we're gonna do the opposite side. If you need to move your chair to the opposite side, you can do that. So I'm gonna take that foot to the front. I'm just tapping it and I'm leaning back a little bit. So I get that nice line. Good, okay? Then I take it to the back and I lean forward just a little bit. All right, do that again. Take it to the front and take it to the back. Now, when we're doing a balance like that, maybe even if our feet aren't off the ground, we're still doing a lot of work because maybe 10% is on my toe in the front, 90% is on the standing leg. So I'm still really working and strengthening that leg. All right, now let's take that foot to the front and let's go ahead and let's lift. So lift it up, hold it for a second or two there. Good, and then take it to the back, or to the center and then back. And put those palms out. Good. Come to center, take it to the front, and lift. Take it center, take it back, and lift. Perfect. You might feel little shaking in your feet and your ankles and stuff, and which is kind of good because then you know your feet are kind of adjusting to try to keep you balanced, which is what you need when you're walking over a rocky terrain or a sidewalk that has a lump in it or dog toys or whatever. You need your ankles and your feet to be able to adjust to the different terrain. All right, I'm going to do one more balance. So I'm going to take my feet back into that plie position, and we're going to come into that 5-pointed star. Okay? So the arms are extended, fingertips are reaching nice and long. So now I'm going to bend a little bit, and I'm going to come to the right, and I'm going to tap my foot. Okay, I'm going to bend, kind of like a little plie squat, and I'm going to tap. Try to keep those arms nice and parallel to the floor. Take it down, and tap. You guys probably know where we're going from here, right? Down, and tap. Okay, so now I'm going to take it down. I'm going to tap, I'm going to lift, and maybe I'm going to tilt. So this is called our falling star. And you guys are at home, so I won't be able to tell, but I've never lost a star yet in a class. Okay? Maybe you're holding onto the chair here, and that's fine. If you've got that good form and that balance, that works, okay? Come back down. Come to the other side. And I find balance going into it slowly is much better than just jumping into things. But each of us are a little different. There's our following star. Perfect. Come back to center. We're going to do that one more time, but let's let it relax just for a second here. Good. Okay, so one more time. Get those arms out. Okay, so I bend the knee a little bit so I can come to the other side, and then I straighten it as I tap that foot, and then I just start to tilt a little bit. Maybe you have to put your foot down. I just did. And, maybe you could tilt a little more. Again, the chair is there, nice to feel safe. And let's go ahead and come down. Other side. Tap that foot down and lift. All the way up. Perfect. And bring it back to center. Roll those shoulders a little bit. And take your feet about a little shoulder width, maybe a little more. And we're going to do a body roll, a hip roll. And lots of times when I do a hip roll, my head kind of goes all over the place, my body goes all over the place. What I'd like you to do is think about keeping that head stable. So maybe I put my hand under my chin and find something to look at, and just roll the hips. And try to keep your head in one place, your gaze in one place. And feel the difference of when you focus on one body part like that. It's a little different. Okay, take it back the other way, roll it back, all the way around. Roll, good. All right, check it out. I'm gonna grab my chair, balls, but I'm going to show it with and without. So some of you guys have heard the stories about when I started doing this earlier in the year, I asked students to bring in little squish balls, and it just happened that all the health and wellness fairs were giving out brains. So I ended up with about, I don't know, 40 or 50 brains. And I had them in the front seat of my car one time, and somebody pulled out, they slammed on the brakes, brains everywhere. So that's my big joke. It's like, oh, my brains, they all went all over the place. So you can use these little squish balls, and it's really great to have these, you know, when you're watching TV, near the computer, maybe in the car as a passenger. And it's really great to get that nice squish, okay? So you can do all kinds of squish, and I like to, I'm gonna move a little closer. Okay, so I like to take my hands and kind of move it a little bit, and squish, and move a little bit, and squish, so that I'm getting the dexterity of my hands, all right? Now, without a ball, okay, I can just squeeze the hands and open them, and squeeze them and open them. This is a great thing to do first thing in the morning, squeeze and open them. Now, one thing I really emphasize, and those of you who've been in my classes know that I've been emphasizing this, when we squeeze, okay, these flexors are getting nice and worked. And that's like when we're doing all this, okay, that's all tightening up. Now, when we open our hands, that's working the extensors. And we open our shoulders, all this, that's the muscles down the spine, okay? So our tendency is to be like this, and what we want to get is this, really big, okay? So when I squeeze and I want to open it back the other direction. Now you can also do that little tiger hand, okay? So I'm hinging from the joint on my fingers and also on my thumb, okay? And then when I come out of that, I'm going to open it really big. You can make faces too. Ah! And open. Ah! This is weird mouth exercises. You guys all get to see me be goofy and I don't get to see you, okay? Ah! Ah! So this is the tiger. Ah! This is us. Ah! Oh boy, I can't believe the things I talk about in this living room lately. All right, then you can also take and go, like, our tendency is to want to go boom, 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 you know, finger to finger. But what I'd like you to do is go finger, open, finger, open, finger, open, and open. Now, if you have the ball, then you can get a little bit of resistance in there too, which is going to make those muscles work more, okay? Resistance, push, push, push. All right, you can bring the hands out in front and have them flex and point. And we did a lot of that today when we were doing the horse, but we didn't bring them back. So we did a lot of extension, okay? But you always want to, when you work your body one way, you want to work at the opposite. So our spine goes forward and back, side to side, twist to twist, okay? Same with our hands, side to side, twist, twist, feet, okay? So try to keep things kind of even, little windshield wipers, even on each side. All right? Now, so keep one of those things handy. They have them at the wellness fairs all the time. So now I'm going to move my chair back and we're going to talk a minute about feet. So I really feel like people have a tendency to ignore our feet, okay? They're there and they're all great and dandy until we have a problem. And those of you who are taking my chair yoga classes earlier in the year, I had a problem with my foot and went to the chiropractor and he says, well, try toe socks, Colleen. And I had thought I had a neuroma or something, which I might have. And I put the toe socks on, it was wonders. All right, so if you have a tennis ball or some sort of hard ball that you can use, golf balls work too, but they're a little hard. Every morning before you put your shoes on, okay, get that tennis ball out, and I want you to roll your foot on it. Now, when you roll your foot, it's not just a walk in the park, okay? I want you to, maybe you can put force on that knee. I want you to push into it until you actually feel, you know, like, oh, that's working it. And roll it the full length of the foot all the way out to that heel and back. And you can do it, you know, 2-3 minutes each foot if you have the time. I have some of my clients that are really good about doing it. My mom tried it once and she said, that hurt. And she stopped. And I told her, Mom, it hurt because you need it. But it's waking up all those muscles and it's stretching your ankles, and you can do a little side to side, but it's making your feet and your ankles able to catch yourself when you're working on balancing, okay? And so do that on both sides. Tennis balls are pretty amazing. They can be pushed into your hip joint, so I can sit on it and kind of roll into that piriformis area that gets really tight sometimes. Oh my goodness. Or you could, if you get down on the floor, lay on the floor, stick it behind the shoulder blades. It's a wonderful tool. All right. Perfect. All right. So let's just kind of sit back and get comfortable in our chair. I was talking too much here. Happens often. Go ahead and rest those palms on your hand, palms on your thighs. Close your eyes. With each exhalation, just let go. Let your body kind of melt into the chair. Feet are feeling heavy, your hips are heavy. Nice inhale. Nice exhalation. The cat's decided he needs to come and do a little shavasana with you too. Sometimes shavasana could be the hardest thing we do all day. Just letting our body truly relax. Those of you who have pets right now know that petting a dog or a cat can be totally relaxing right now too. All right, let's take those hands to the side. Nice big inhale. And exhale. Good, one more inhale. You know, I've only been teaching classes in my living room since March, and my dog and cat still can't figure out what the heck I'm doing. Talking to this computer screen. All right. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for being here. And I will be here Tuesday. I do my class, Senior Fit, and then Wednesday Ellen will be back. She'll be back. No, Courtney's doing it Friday. So, and then next Thursday I'll be also doing Mary's class. So, all right. Oh, we had a chat here. Someone said something. What do you have on your feet? Somebody asked about what I have on my feet. They're yoga socks. I don't know if I can show you. Let's see if you can see them. Yoga socks. So they have little toes, and they have little pads on them. So they stick to your pads, and it. What my chiropractor said was it helps to separate the toes and stuff. And sometimes when your toes get squished on top of each other, that's where you get the neuromas and the uncomfortable stuff. So they made a big difference. They were a huge difference for me. So, all right.
Thank you, Colleen. See you next time.
All right. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Bye.
Wow. Looked like Noreen stayed the whole time.